So thank you for being with us for this session, another session. We'll just find our seat there. So the title of this presentation is making PCI a people-driven project. We would like to look at the role of people in payment from a merchant perspective, from educating the board and C-level to training in scope staff upon hire, and yearly thereafter we explore how to get buy-in from the best line of defense, people again. Look at people impact on security and compliance based on the whole and how to continually educate the staff to ensure they understand the importance of people. For an effective continuous PCI process, people are key. My name is Marie-Christine Vittet. I'm working for Accor Hotel Group, as you know, and today with one of our service provider, VigiTrust, and I will, Rowan, start the presentation, and I'll come back for the second part.
Thanks, Marie-Christine. Hi, I think you might have worked out by now, I'm not Mathieu Gorge. Mathieu is our CEO, and he is unavoidably detained today and not able to be here, so I would like to accept this Oscar on his behalf. Oh, sorry, wrong speech. Okay, so we're going to talk about making PCI a people-driven project. And if we can... The people who need to be involved in the PCI project are a large number of people across an organization. And I note that Simon mentioned earlier on that one of the things that he spent a great deal of time on when he started his program was getting the key stakeholders on board. And what I'm going to talk about a little bit here is to talk about an issue of getting the very key stakeholders on board, the board, the C-level, the people who sponsor the project and support it. Because this is addressed in a book that Mathieu recently published, which is entitled The Cyber Elephant in the Boardroom. We as security professionals know that cybersecurity and PCI compliance are complex and difficult to understand and to explain. There are multiple and sometimes conflicting regulations and standards and guidance that we need to deal with within organizations. And this makes our job very difficult and gives us a challenge to explain to people about these different resources that we need to work with. However, we do need to collaborate to simplify and to work with multidisciplines and to work with senior executives to allow them to take accountability for cybersecurity and data compliance. And that is the theme of the book. What we have to understand as cybersecurity professionals is that our board members and senior executives in an organization are dealing with all sorts of risks, not just the type of risks that we're familiar with. And they have to deal with this and manage that process and deal with conflicting risks and challenging risks. And when we come to explain to them about our particular area of focus around cybersecurity and data compliance, including PCI, the reality is that it's complicated and it's technical. And it's a bit threatening and a bit scary at times. And so we need to make sure that we understand the whole environment and that we explain it and fully appreciate this ecosystem. And this has been made more challenging by some of the recent developments. We heard a lot about that earlier on in the earlier presentation. We do have a tendency as security and risk professionals to explain our complex challenges to the board using our language about threats and bad actors and controls and vulnerabilities and exploitation. And this is before we start using acronyms. I got a little bit out of there. So when we talk to our boards and our senior executives, we can create such a picture that they tend to react and to not be as positive about the message that we're bringing them as we need them to be. We need to explain these messages in their terms and not ours necessarily. If we present them with complexity alarmism, jargon, and even exaggeration. They will react as people often react when things are presented to them as a negative way. We have examples, certainly, and you probably do too, of people who've said cybersecurity is not a problem, it's a scam. We have people who say, yeah, but it's all right, we don't have any issues because that's our supplier's problem, not ours. So they deny it. Some people do get very annoyed. Why are we telling them that they have to spend money on things that don't support the rest of the business? Why are we taking resources away from other areas? They can also start to bargain with you, and some people have bargained in different ways, but they say, well, look, if we just do this, will we be all right? If we do this, are we better than everybody else, and therefore we don't need to be concerned? But eventually, what you don't want people is get depressed and think that they're never going to manage to succeed, to be compliant, or to build the best security program that they can. And you want to get them to a stage where they can accept your recommendations and support your program. And I think what we just saw from Simon was a perfect example of where that's happened. We have developed, and it's covered in the book in considerable detail, is a framework that is used to pitch cybersecurity issues within the greater security issues of the business, and looking at the areas, 5 key areas: physical security, people security, data security, and infrastructure security. And then what is your crisis management plan to deal with the issues that may be presented to you? But this allows us to explain the issues to board level and senior executives in a way that it relates to their overall objectives and to the way they understand the business. And it's a simple framework, but it does allow people to use this to create a successful PCI program or cybersecurity program that is supported from the top down. Okay, so the real point we're making is that PCI needs to be a people-driven program, but first it needs to be supported by the people who can lead that program at the top and to provide it with the resources and the support that it needs. Thank you very much. I'm going to hand over now to Marie-Christine.
So let me now deep dive in the Accor world. So just as a reminder, we are a world-leading hospitality group, building our strengths and our team on our diverse, holistic ecosystem of brands, experience, and solutions. We are breaking new grounds to shape the hospitality of tomorrow. We are a worldwide leading hotel operator with 5,300 hotels in 110 countries. To start, I'd like to quote this author of this magazine article who indicates, "Knowledge is power? No, knowledge on its own is nothing, but the application of useful knowledge, now that is powerful." Adapting a role-based training, curriculum procedures training can be consistently applied to an employee job. Oftentimes, employee feedback reveals that feel overtrained in various functions, such as soft skills, and undertrained in other core competencies that directly pertain to their day-to-day role. Middlesex University conducted a study on work-based learning and discovered that 74% of 4,300 workers felt that they weren't achieving their full potential at work. The creation of training appropriate to the role ensures that employees are receiving training that will be applicable to them, and in return, that will help them meet their full potential. Employee possesses a desire of need of training that is pertinent, so what they actually do. They want to be able to learn more about their job. A recent study revealed that 44% of respondents cite a lack of training and opportunities as a reason they left their job. That is a significant number of employees looking for opportunities outside of their current role. It is the role of learning developer to create training appropriate to the employee's role. I will explain you now how we address PCI training to our employee, how we train them, how we proceed, so who we train, how we proceed, and when we ask the employee to do their PCI training. Our PCI training are role-based to allow our company to reduce learning time, maintain employee retention for training topics, access valuable resources, boost collaboration, and learn in a risk-free environment. Let's go through more about the 5 main benefits from this approach. First is improved problem-solving skills. Role-playing is a practical approach that improves the employee's problem-solving skills to deal with real-life situations within the company. It allows to measure employees' actual performance based on their individual roles with the organization. An example of role-playing is customer interaction through email, chat, phones, or virtual reality. Role-based training provide and improve a safe environment for employees to encounter real-life scenarios for the first time, improving their self-confidence and equipping them with resources to adequately perform their day-to-day roles. Second is personalized training. This personalized training aids skills progressing through e-learning. It's a custom learning path based on the employee's current skills, proficiency, interest, and aspiration. It helps employees meet their goal effectively and quickly. Role-based training allows to synchronize employees with their current and future goals. Employees can bridge their skills gap or learn new skills to improve their performance. All this leads to streamlined business operation and increased return on investments. Besides, role-based training focuses on the employee's specific needs. It means not all employees will take the same course or receive training on one particular topic. Because each employee has their own pace of learning, high-impact e-learning is a great way to tailor a topic towards their specific needs. Role-based training creates higher engagement. Role-based training allows us to choose the topic and learning methods based on specific roles and an employee within the organization. That way, we can make them feel valued. Employees have higher satisfaction when the company focuses on their learning and upskilling efforts. Because role-based training methods can be personalized based on employees' position, workforce will get what it wants. Thus, employees have a higher engagement level again. Not only does employee learn quickly and efficiently, but they will also recall better when applying the concept to their specific task. Adaptability and productivity. High-impact learning enables employees to interact with advanced content on their technology devices such as smartphones, computers, or tablets. The purpose behind this type of learning is to increase engagement levels and maintain learning retention while increasing productivity. Most often, an organization needs the entire teams train on specific topics or skills. However, it does not have time to carry out the task currently. Role-based training, then, via e-learning, is an adaptable approach in which the learning material is self-paced and user-managed. And finally, role-based training is cost-effective. Role-based training allows for getting training on a particular skills to employees' need. Keep in mind that bundled training or develop a program costs a lot of money and don't allow for segmenting the specific skills training employees need. So, this is where the efficiency and cost-effectiveness of role-based training comes into play. Depending on our requirements, role-based training is much more cost-effective. Not only does role-based training offers all the training and development your company and employee needs, but it also saves you money. The average employees devote roughly 1% of their work week to training. This is a statement that equates to 4.8 minutes a day and 24 minutes per week. As a learning professional, this is critical to help employees make the most of their 1% finally. Role-based training provides employees with the tool and resources they need, not to just do their job, but to perform it accurately. Role-applicable training can optimize an employee's skill and set them up for long-term success in their role. Final word of this based training. So user-based training approach to training and development allows us to create complementary skills. Role-based training delivers relevant and engagement content to employees. And this is lead to increased employee productivity, as I said, and higher return on investment. How do we train? So coming back to Accor again, we train our staff from various locations. Central headquarters, local headquarters, and also our call centers and customer cares. A lot of departments such as sales and distribution teams, e-commerce, IT, security, payment, treasury, project manager, audit and risk, and a lot of others. In total, this is more than 80,000 collaborators to train every year on PCI. At hotel level, all operation position, I'm talking about the front desk, the concierge, but also all the F&B, that means food and beverage part, need to be trained on PCI. At hotel level, it's an average of 10 to 45 persons per hotel to be trained. Sometimes in our large properties, we train more than 1,500 employees on PCI. How do we proceed? A lot of different content and methods we use. Different programs tailored to each target user population, as I mentioned before. We have a PCI awareness training, we have a PCI e-module for hotel staff, PCI passport for IT and security, PCI certification. We also add a regular communication and animation. Different format, face-to-face, we love them, e-learning, available 24 hours, webinars, workshop, quiz, and gamification. When, as you know, requirement 12.6, it's when hiring a new employees, including in our onboarding process, but also on a regular basis and as a minimum once a year. This is the e-learning training that would take less than an hour for each hotel employee. This training starts with a PCI overview. In part 2, we dedicate to the PCI protecting cardholder data. We finally finish in part 3 with PCI at hotel level with a lot of examples. Another content is dedicated to our IT. This training is dedicated to security teams. Same objective than the previous e-module. Both e-learning are reviewed every year. The content is reviewed every year, and when necessary, added also for new content. Our baby new is a PCI awareness training available for all collaborators. We want to grow up also for another population. It is followed by our administrative employees mainly. Again, a short and well-illustrated e-learning training to make it easier for everybody to understand. This module becomes very popular. And finally, I do not forget to mention all users certified through the PCI SSC training and qualification program. Every year, we try to maintain a minimum of users certified through these valuable contents. We are waiting for them in version 4 and in different languages as well. I will not go through all the detail because I'm running out of time. I want to keep you with me for another few minutes because we have a quiz. I'd like to put that in a funny situation to react on this first question. This is an example of my training also. Who does PCI requirement apply to? So you have 4 answers, easy to read. I'm waiting for the right answer. Someone can guess it? Of course, we know that PCI applies to any business that processes credit card payment. Tricky answer. A second one will be The practice of using a telephone system to manipulate users into disclosing confidential information is known as, quick, only 5 seconds, phishing. You are right. This is this phishing new technology, attack methods. And the third one, because I'm not, sorry, no. It's too quick. You know that we are very careful with this one, that the CE fraud definition and all the different way we can have this kind of very bad thing in our company. And finally, leave me 2 seconds for this one about password. Password is always also a good item. Do you have time to read the answer? I'm sure you all guessed that your password should be short and should not be short and easy to remember. That was the tricky things. Right, as a conclusion, Rowan, are you back with me? If we get the board to sponsor, get C-level to drive and train all staff, PCI is a real people-driven initiative. We hope that we demonstrate it again once more today, and we are ready to answer any question or comment you can have on this item. We will be with you at the lunch section in a few minutes. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much.